This is the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion for Thursday, September the 8th, 2016. I'm Michael Groff, and Tropical Storm Newton came through the state yesterday. And we were on the dry side, but an initial rain band did come through southern Arizona during the morning hours, producing just 0.04 of an inch of rain at Sky Harbor. Some parts of the valley had a little bit more rain, while the Northwest Valley had 0. The big rains were to the south. Gila Bend picked up about 1 1/3 inches of rain yesterday, and Tucson setting a daily record 1.25 inches. Much of southeast Arizona had between about 1 inch and 2.5 inches of rain, and certainly there was some flooded areas, but no widespread headaches, just a little bit of wind and some rain from Newton, which is now off in New Mexico and barely a remnant circulation. Some surface moisture around this morning, certainly. Partly cloudy skies out there. It is muggy, 75 degrees right now. Dew point at 70, humidity 83%. The winds are light and the barometer is rising. A few showers in southeast Arizona right now. Scattered showers across New Mexico, still with what's left over of Newton. But again, those showers are generally light. A few embedded moderate rain showers out there. Clouds on the way out too. And we'll see a general decrease in clouds, mostly sunny skies, I would say, across the southern deserts throughout the day today. Watch warning map, fire danger risk across southern and central Wyoming. And some flash flood watches from just south of Topeka and Kansas City over into western Missouri this morning. Convective outlook for today. Not much around here, but a marginal risk of severe weather across much of the nation's heartland, extending from eastern Kansas all the way up into upstate New York, western Vermont, and an area there of South Dakota, Nebraska, Minnesota, Iowa. Day 2, slight risk of severe weather across portions of Kansas and Missouri. Marginal risk surrounding that. Day 3, the risk extends, just a marginal risk up there toward eastern Ohio, the northwest half of Pennsylvania, upstate New York. And precipitation during the next 5 days. Well, we are going to be fairly dry. Any action that happens across the state will mainly be over the White Mountains, eastern portions of the state, the eastern rim. We could, now, of course, understand this map is a general map. There could be an isolated spot or two that sees a quarter, a half inch, or even an inch of rain. But I think for the most part, we'll be lucky to see 1/10 of an inch here in the Phoenix area during the next 5 days. All right, let's take a look at the models. Here we go. The GFS, the 06Z run, valid at 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time this afternoon. Trough continues to move across the central part of the country. Big ridge over the eastern Pacific. For us, widely scattered showers will happen across the eastern portions of the state today, but generally we're going to be under a northwesterly or westerly flow, and that should help bring down the humidities and keep rain chances very minimal here in Phoenix. Technically, our chances of rain aren't 0, but we're not going to put them in the forecast at all for today. Tomorrow, continued drying as generally westerly or southwesterly flow continues across the state. There is an area of low pressure that's starting to develop across just off the Southern California and Baja coast, and that will play at least a small role in our weather this weekend. As we look at Saturday, there's that low off the Southern California coast, and flow aloft between high pressure to the east and that low should bring some moisture north, but understand that flow is a very laminar flow over the western portions of Mexico, not turbulent. So don't expect to see widespread showers or thunderstorms. Humidity levels will come up just a little bit. And by Sunday, I think humidity levels will increase a little bit more as that low continues to spin out there. And a developing trough to the northwest is going to make things interesting for us. A closed low, maybe even developing across western Nevada by Sunday evening. And that could help to pull in some extra moisture from the south. I think much of the energy from that system, of course, stays to our north. But here's the view from 700 millibars. There's that circulation west of or right around Los Angeles on Sunday evening. View from 500 millibars as well. Then here's the precipitable water on Sunday night. This is off the GFS, and there's a plume of about 1.3 to 1.4 inch PWatt values coming up here toward the Phoenix area. So the moisture will be around, and I think that's our best chance of precip is pretty much on Sunday towards Sunday evening. And then on into Monday, the early part of the day, maybe the best dynamics and the best overall chances for precip will still be around. We'll just have to see how that goes. Monday night, though, you see that the precipitable water starts to decrease. Look at that gradient there, that contour between the moist and the dry air. And actually, PWatt values already starting to thin out by Monday night, down to about an inch here in the Phoenix area, with values around 0.3 inches up toward Vegas. Wow, very dry air up that way. So that's what's coming our way for next week. By Tuesday, rain chances basically zero for Phoenix as the trough moves on through, and drier air will very quickly come in. Dew points are going to drop drastically. We'll see dew points probably going from the 50s and 60s down into the 30s by Wednesday. There you see the overall pattern. The action is over in New Mexico and points east. And there's the dew points forecast for Wednesday night. Look at that, 31. Our dew point by Wednesday evening at 11 p.m. And if this verifies, that would be extremely dry air. This has been a very consistent theme on the GFS. Timing maybe a little off here or there, wavering a few hours, but overall, much drier air by the middle part of next week across a vast majority of the state. A little bit of moisture down in the southeast corner and over into New Mexico, but mainly dry. And here we go toward the end of the forecast period. This is September the 17th, and a closed low off the Southern California coast. Interesting because that's been featured on the last several runs of the GFS. But I would take it with a grain of salt. It's a closed low this far out, and models generally handle those rather poorly, so we'll keep an eye on it. Huge ridge of high pressure still over the eastern Pacific. Not quite as anomalous as what was being shown yesterday, but still pretty strong. It's a fairly consistent feature. I would say that's probably likely to happen. As we go off into the land of make-believe, here's day 11. The closed low still off the Southern California coast. Still a high pressure ridge over the eastern Pacific. Probably a blocking pattern setting up. Day 12, same kind of situation. And if we go all the way out, as far as the models will go, this is September the 23rd and the second day of autumn. Yesterday, the models were showing an anomalous ridge all the way up into the Gulf of Alaska, into southern Alaska. Heights probably exceeding 570 decameters. Today, there's a big low spinning over the Aleutians with heights under 520 decameters. So that's quite a switch. But that's why it's the land of make-believe. All right, looking at the forecast then, the guidance over the next 7 or 8 days or so here in the Phoenix area. Temperatures warming up this weekend. Probably get into the mid-90s today, over 100 tomorrow. I would guess probably around 101 to 105 on Saturday with some drier air. Sunday, we might drop it back a degree or two as the humidity levels come up. Monday could be an unsettled day, so temperatures a little bit lower. And then by next Tuesday and Wednesday, the drier air really starts coming in. Now, keep in mind, these temperatures are the forecast for the urban core, near Sky Harbor Airport. Once the drier air comes in by next Tuesday and certainly by Wednesday and Thursday of next week, overnight lows are going to drop for many of us into the upper 60s to lower 70s. So that's going to feel real nice. Afternoon highs probably not too far away from normal, upper 90s to around 100, 101 or so. And that is a look at today's Phoenix weather discussion. Thank you so much for joining me. We'll see you again tomorrow.